Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. RWBY continues with Volume 6, Chapter 3, The Lost Fable. I know I always say that there's a spoiler warning because I'm doing this unscripted, but this time it's important. I'm not holding off until partway through the review. From the beginning, I'm going to be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen Volume 6, Chapter 3, the episode is now public, and the link to it is in the description below. So yeah, just know that it's coming. And this is a phenomenal episode. This is honestly the episode that I've been waiting for. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen, but this is the episode I've been waiting for. The plot, the bare bones minimum of it, is this is Salem's origin story. And back when I did my Chapter 1 review, I talked about some of my favorites regarding RWBY, like my favorite character being Jean and so on. I didn't really talk about it there, but Salem, ever since she showed up at the end of Volume 3, and, well, I should say Volume 4, honestly, because she played a bigger role there, but Salem is my favorite villain. I love the aesthetic, it's got a very witchy design to it, which, if you don't know anything about me, I love witches. And most of the reasons why I love Salem so much is that Jen Taylor, who, if you're unfamiliar, she voices Cortana in the Halo series. Jen Taylor's performance is just so hypnotic. Like, every time she's on screen, every time she speaks, you're just entranced. And so yeah, Salem is my favorite villain, and we see what drove her to this point in sort of a fairy tale type story narrated by Jin, who we met last episode. Which, just side note, if they decide to do World of Remnant again, because they kind of skipped it Volume 5, excuse me, they should get Jin to narrate it. I just think, given what Jin is, that would work really well, and it turns out Colleen Clinkenbeard is a really good narrator. But yeah, we get Salem's origin story told as this fairy tale, which honestly, the way it's told and the way the story plays out, it's more akin to like a Greek myth to me, but that's just me personally. And we find out the role Ozpin plays in Salem's life. And I love... By the way, I didn't take notes. I forgot to take notes for this chapter, so expect me to be more rambling and stammery than usual. But I love this story. One of my favorite subgenres is tragic romances. I love reading about, love stories that are doomed to fail, and they ultimately do. Thanks, Shakespeare. And the story we were presented with was really beautiful. Salem was a woman locked in a tower who was rescued by a man named Ozma. Cliff Notes version. They fell in love, Ozma got sick and died. Salem went to the God of Light, and the God of Light told her, the world exists in a balance, it exists in equilibrium. Bringing him back would disrupt that equilibrium. I'm sorry, it's not that I don't want to do anything, it's that I can't do anything. And then Salem went to the God of Darkness, who did try to revive him, until the God of Light found out, and, the gods were in agreement that you cannot do this. And Salem tried to turn humanity against the gods, and they wiped out their first attempt at humanity, and left remnant, cursing Salem to be immortal. That is her punishment because of what she did. she can never move on and be with the man she loved. And then humanity was born again. By the way, when the gods left Remnant, they shattered the moon, so that's where that came from. Which, I guess Red vs. Blue was right. The gods were responsible for the moon. Anyway, mankind was born again, a remnant of what it originally was. And when they saw what Salem was doing in her grief and in her rage, the God of Light decided to allow Ozma to be reborn. And he would be immortal, but not in the same way Salem was immortal. Essentially, his soul would share a body with another person, and they would coexist. And every time that person died, Ozma's soul would reincarnate into a new body. And, going down the way, all the way to Ozpin, and now Oscar. One thing that I'm going to say this very quick, because there is kind of this debate going on about who is responsible for everything. Ozpin, Salem, or the gods. The way this episode played out, the entire course of the series, the entire mythos, this is Salem's fault. And because if she had listened to the God of Light and didn't try anything else, this would have been over and done with. But she tried to go to the God of Darkness. She didn't tell him what the God of Light said. She tried to be underhanded about it. And she was punished for it. And then she tried to wage a war on the gods. In my personal opinion, everything that has happened, leading to the setup of the series, is Salem's fault. But in the same way, you can kind of understand that, because like Hazel, which we learned a little bit in Volume 5 with his sister, grief can make a person, especially a person you're close to like that, do irrational, why can't I say that word? Irrational, terrible things. And so, yeah, a lot of people are saying that there was nothing really earth-shattering or groundbreaking about the revelations we got in this episode, and I think that's okay. It's like, sure, we sort of knew a little bit about the relics and the gods, but, nothing needed to be earth-shattering. We just wanted to know the full story, and now that I think about it, one of the things I like about the fact that Jin is the one who told this story is that this is a third party. We didn't get this story from Ozpin. We didn't get this story from Salem. By having a third party tell it, we get a full, unbiased story as to what happened. What else is there to talk about? Because I've just been gushing about this episode and summarizing it. Jen Taylor still gave a really good performance here. She really sold Salem's heartbreak and then her grief and her rage. The aesthetics were nice and the whole storybook idea really tied into the aesthetics we got. Oh, shoot, I am grasping at straws as I try to finish this out. Okay, conclusion time. I'm going to give RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 3, The Lost Fable, an A. Because while there aren't any flaws, and while this was a really solid episode, I feel like... I'm just going to give it an A. Because I can't seem to put my thoughts into words right now. But yeah, those are my thoughts on RWBY, Volume 6, Chapter 3. What did you think? What are your thoughts? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click that little bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload, because subscribe doesn't do that. And in the description below, you'll find the link to my Twitter profile where you can find channel updates as well. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.